Sierra. I am a member of the plant department here at Josh's Frogs. And today I'm going to be showing you a few different ways to utilize mounts in your terrarium. So if you don't know what a mount is, I have a few different varieties over here. So mounts are simply epiphytic plants that are growing on a surface. And if you don't know what an epiphyte is, we can take a look at a few different kinds of plants. Let's take a look at this guy here. So this one is called a bromeliad, and a bromeliad is called an epiphyte. So epiphytes grow attached to other plants. So this one is attached to a cork mount. So you can see that it is rooted down right on that cork mount there. Traditionally, what you'll see in terrariums are terrestrial plants like this guy here. So this one is called a calathea. You can see that it grows directly out of the ground. So what we do with our mounted plants is that we take certain surfaces and we attach them to it and give them time to root and grow. So this guy is a cryptanthus, and it has actually rooted to this piece of cork. It could take a couple of weeks to a couple of months. So that's why it's good to get them nice and rooted before you put them into your terrarium. So there's a few different ways that you can use these in your tanks. One of the ways you can do it is by taking a larger piece and making like a centerpiece. So this is a ficus pumila attached to a piece of lava rock. It also has a bit of sheet moss attached in there. So it's completely rooted to the rock here, and what you can do is you can just make a lovely little centerpiece in your tanks there. It will fill it up with foliage and add the humidity. If you have any open spaces like this over here, right next to this peace lily, something else you can do is buy these cork mounts here. So this cryptanthus is completely rooted to this cork here. And what you can do is you can just set it right in there. And that can work as a really good hide for your animals. If you have any frogs or reptiles, it's a really good place for them to go and feel secure. So another thing you can actually do is actually mount plants to the back of your tank. And there's two different ways you can do this. This is another bromeliad mount. You can see it's got a little pup attached there. And that's how they spread. They'll grow off these little offsets. And when we send out our mounts, they all come with these little hooks on the back. And if you have a little styrofoam wall in the back there, what you can do is you can just simply hook it on the back there. And it's a nice sturdy spot for your animals to rest. Bromeliads actually collect water in their little cups. So if you have tadpoles, that's where they can lay their eggs. It's pretty simple. Now, this is temporary, like it can come off and it can come on. But if you want to do something a bit more permanent in your tank with a mount, what you can do is actually fix it to the back of the tank or any of the walls if you really want to. So what I'm going to do now is show you a few different ways how you can actually attach your mount to the back of the tank. So you do want to start off with an empty tank. You don't want to have any animals in there because it will take a little bit of time to cure. So you want to lay it down flat. And we're actually going to attach this bromeliad mount here. Like I mentioned before, bromeliads are really great for frogs. They're great for rearing tadpoles because they will collect water in the center of that cup there. So you want to figure out a good spot to put it. Bromeliads typically grow higher up, so you can place it higher up in your tank, a little bit lower. But you really want to know where you're going to put it because once this cures, it's going to be really hard to move. So I'm going to put my mount like right here. Let's hook that up so you guys can see it. I put it like right there, a nice median spot, easy for my animals to get to. And a fun little trick you can do is if you have a whiteboard marker to help you really get your spot in there. Make sure you can get it in the exact spot you want it. You can take a marker and kind of mark the points of contact on your tank. This mount here has 3 different points of contact, so I'm just marking on the outside of the tank, expo, so I can see where I'm going to put the glue. So you see there, we've got 3 different spots, and now I'm gonna lay the tank down so that my glue doesn't drip. And I'm also gonna take a little bit of alcohol because you wanna make sure that your tank is nice and clean. You want your glass to be free of any debris because that will make the glue not work as well. So now we've got our tank all nice and clear. And what we're going to do now is take our pet safe silicone. You're gonna wanna use gloves because it gets a little sticky. All right, so we're gonna cover our hands here, because I don't wanna have to get silicone off of my fingers. And you don't need too much, but if you do use extra, once it dries, you can just scrape it off with a little razor blade. So we're going to just put a little circle about the size of a quarter. Like I said, it's sticky. It's gonna try to go everywhere. You do nice and slow. Try to keep it condensed. All right, we've got our little spots there. Put our cap back on. So you wanna just take it really simple. Look where your spots are. Fit it right in the tank and make sure your points of contact are sitting in the glue. So a lot of these glues, this one included, has a bit of a vinegary type smell, and it's a really good indication to tell you whether or not your glue has cured. Once it's fully cured, it will turn a bit opaque and then it will stop smelling so heavily of vinegar. All right, so I think I've got that right in the spot where I want it. We're gonna leave this down flat for a few hours. You wanna do it for at least 24 hours before you lift it up and put an animal in there. So let's take a look back over here. Like I mentioned before, there's a few different ways you can use mounts in the tank, but there's also some ways you can use mounts outside of the tank. And that's where this guy comes into play here. This is a rabbit's foot fern, and it's on a cork mount. But really cool thing about this specific cork mount, it is made as a planter. So you can put other plants in there too as well. If you really wanted to, you had a bigger terrarium, you could set this in the center and use it as like a centerpiece. So we also have these as well. So we have our cork planters, our cork tubes. We are now getting in our lava rock plants. We have a lot of different plants that we're mounting on lava rock now. Not just terrestrial plants, but some epiphytic plants as well. And then we also have a variety of different sizes. We have some mounts that are just this big. We have some mounts that are a little bit bigger. And we also have extra large mounts as well. So I hope that this was a bit inspirational for you and you feel inspired to add some mounts to your tank. I hope you have a wonderful day and thanks for visiting us.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Here at Josh's Frogs, bringing nature to your doorstep is more than just our mission, it's our passion. We want you to have the most successful experience possible, so we're going to be here for you before, during, and after your purchase, whether that's with our captive bred animals, plants, insects, or the wide variety of their care products on our website. You always have access to our dedicated customer service team, on-site nature experts, hundreds of free articles via our blog, and many more videos right here on our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe. We're always happy to help. Just shoot us an email or give us a call. You can find all of this information and more at joshsfrogs.com. Thanks again, and see you next time.